So we're not too far away from Year 10 Season 2, bringing us the release of Operation Daybreak, including the Clash Remaster, but this also marks the monumental beginning of Siege X as well. And if you haven't seen my coverage of Year 10 Season 2, check it out, it's all on the channel. But in this video, we're gonna go a few seasons into the future and look at Year 10 Season 4. So during the reveal of Year 10 Season 2, the Siege team decided to give us a few glimpses into the future. Firstly, they announced that in Year 10 Season 3, we're going to be getting a brand new Swiss operator who is going to be a defender. I've not seen anything more than you guys have, but the way they've been hyping up this operator makes me think that this is going to be something big. But just like how in Year 10 Season 2 we are getting a remaster to an operator, it's going to be the same case in Year 10 Season 4, and they've already given us details and some hints about who this could potentially be. So the first thing we have is that they are an attacker. This already cuts the list of what operator this could be in half. Not only that, they also said that this is a Pathfinder operator. And if you're not familiar with Siege's terminology, the Pathfinder operators are the vanilla operators, the operators that were in the game since launch. And that includes any operator prior to Buck and Frost. So with all that knowledge in mind, that means that one of the following operators are getting a remaster in Season 4. Glaz, Fuse, IQ, Blitz, Twitch, Monty, Thermite, Ash, Thatcher, or Sledge. And one of the things that Joshua said, which was their main goal with this remaster, is increasing the skill ceiling of this operator and allowing them to make more meaningful plays throughout the round. So let's talk about a few of these operators who are most likely to get a remaster in this season. One of the most likely ones, in my opinion, is going to be Blitz. One of the reasons I think this is going to be Blitz is just look at the recent trend of shields and remasters in Siege. In Year 9 Season 1, Operation Deadly Omen, shields get an entire overhaul and rework. We then move to the latter seasons of Year 9 into Year 9 Season 4, Operation Collision Point, where we then get a remaster for Blackbeard, who was already technically a shield op, but kinda not, but now post-remaster he is a full-on shield operator with his own mechanics. We then continue to the next operator remaster and our upcoming season, Operation Daybreak, where we are getting another remaster of a shield operator. So based on trends alone, it is quite likely that Blitz is going to be next up for a remaster. And it kind of makes sense as well when you listen to the wording that was assigned to this announcement. They did say that they wanted to higher the skill ceiling of this operator. I think we can all agree that Blitz doesn't really have a high skill ceiling. You just rush in with a shield, flash the person, and that's them dead. I'm not saying there's not ways to counter him, and I'm not even saying he's OP, but it definitely doesn't lead to thoughtful or deep gameplay. So if they are able to take the concept of Blitz and expand on it, allowing you to do more things throughout the round, while still keeping that core component of him being a shield with a flash bar on it, then I think we could get some really cool things. They have shown us with the previous remasters that the goal of a remaster isn't to nerf an operator. It's to give them more counters, but also give them more opportunities to make plays, more depth to their gadgets, and overall just improving them as an operator and giving them a good spot in the ecosystem of the game. I think Clash is a great example because although she can kind of do the similar role she could do before by zapping people with her shield and allowing teammates to play off of that, she can also now place the shield herself, which allows for new opportunities, but on the flip side, it also opens the door for her shield to be countered more by the attackers. But from a gameplay standpoint, as the person playing Clash, there's a lot more depth to this operator, and it's just more fun. But then as an opposing operator, so the attackers, you also have more stuff to deal with this operator, making it a fair and fun experience for both sides. And I'll be honest, getting in a gunfight with a Blitz is pretty boring. And I don't really feel that rewarded when I get a kill as Blitz either. So if they can take Blitz's current concept and just expand on it and allow him to do some more things, but also making it easier for defenders to then deal with those new things, so we get a nice fair middle ground operator, then I'd actually really love to see that. Now let's talk about another potential operator this could be, and I think a lot of you are going to agree with me here, and that's IQ. Now I've always said that IQ is great, and I don't think she needs some changes, and if anything, I would just like to see her get the impact EMP, and I think that's a substantial enough buff for her. But I also wouldn't be surprised if she is the operator getting this remaster. The issue with IQ is that she is useful. She's great at finding electronics, great at countering operators such as Pulse, Vigil, Valkyrie. A very great addition to the attacking team. But once again, using that sort of statement that was assigned to this announcement, there's not really a high skill ceiling for IQ. You're kind of just looking for your scanner and pinging every operator, or every electronic gadget, shall I say, not operator. And then that's kind of the most meaningful play you get out of IQ, which is why a lot of people don't play her, because they just kind of find her boring. But I guess on the flip side of that argument, there's nothing wrong with that. She has a simple task, but it's a very meaningful one, and it doesn't matter if it's flashy. So me personally, wouldn't be surprised if IQ gets a remaster. I also kind of don't want her to get a remaster. I think we should put a scope on her pistol, give her impact EMPs, and she's fine as is. The next Pathfinder operator I saw a lot of people mention was Fuse, and I find this one a bit interesting because Fuse has a really weird position in the community. A lot of people think he is terrible. I was having this conversation with Pengu when we were in Atlanta, and he thinks Fuse is like a very bad attacker. But I heavily disagree. I think Fuse is incredible, and he's especially good for clearing utility. If you're above a bomb site, if you're above a hatch, just using one cluster charge can destroy so much barbed wire, so many goo mines, mozzie pest, anything which is in that room. Fuse is incredible at clearing it, and is obviously great at, area denial as well. I think Fuse is an incredible operator. I do know in the lower ranks, people do see him as quite oppressive and strong, which is fair enough. I mean, there are ways to counter him, but I understand not everyone plays the game as much as I do and everything, which a goal of a remaster should be to balance an operator across the board. But wholeheartedly speaking, I would actually be quite upset to see Fuse get a remaster. And if they do, I just hope they do it right, because I like Fuse in his current state. I think he's very useful. I think there's plenty of ways to counter him. And yeah, I kind of don't want to see him get a remaster, but if he does, just don't mess it up. Right, the next Pathfinder that could be the Season 4 remaster is actually going to be Thermite. Now, I don't think Thermite needs a remaster, but let me explain why I'm including him in this list. And that is due to the fact that in Season 4, Ubisoft did announce they are reevaluating the ecosystem of hard breachers, jammers, and EMPs. It says this on the roadmap. So considering we don't know what their current plans are when it comes to assessing hard breachers, they did say they kind of want to dethrone Ace without necessarily nerfing him, but they want to buff everyone else. So this could coincide with a remaster for Thermite as well. I don't think this one's very likely. I don't think this one's needed, but I felt like that was worth just mentioning due to the other changes which are coming in Season 4. Using that same statement from the roadmap as well, it could also be Thatcher. I mean, he does need a higher skill ceiling. All you do is throw down EMPs, and for the most part, he has kind of been replaced by impact EMPs. Don't really have much to dwell on with this one. I imagine maybe they could just rework how he interacts with the environment, especially with like lighting and stuff like that. That could be pretty cool. But yeah, Thatcher is also very likely. Right, I could not add him to the list. As important he is to the game, as iconic he is, I'm talking about Sledge. Out of all the ops we just talked about, out of all the Pathfinders, and out of every operator, Sledge just sadly doesn't have the place he used to in the game. He has sadly been dethroned by both Buck and Ram. And although he does have some cool additions, especially now since he can hard counter Clash and other shield ops in Dual Front by knocking them on their back, it's still not enough to make him this go-to pick operator. But if Ubisoft can guarantee a version of Sledge which is core to the operator himself, and by that I mean he still uses the sledgehammer, but he has more usage, he stands out more against Buck and Ram, and he can, solidify himself once again as one of the most important operators to bring, then I would love to see a remaster for this operator. I mean, Sledge is the poster boy of Siege. The hammer and him are all over the marketing for Siege X, and if they can find a way to take him and expand him, I would love to see it. Now, out of all the operators we just talked about, those are the ones I think are most likely. I think every other Pathfinder operator is probably fine. If I was a betting man, which maybe sometimes I am, maybe sometimes I'm not, but if I was, I would put my money on Blitz. Looking at the trends, it makes the most sense, given the shield rework, given what's happened to Blackbeard and Clash. It just makes sense. And yeah, I do agree. I think Blitz is quite a shallow operator. So if they can find a way to expand on his gadget, give him more depth, give him a higher skill ceiling, and allow us to do more with Blitz, then I am all for it. Playing as Blitz isn't rewarding, and playing against a Blitz is just annoying. But I want to extend this question to you. What one of these attackers do you think is getting a remaster in Year 10 Season 4? I guess I'll do an honorable mention of Glaz, but I really don't hope they remaster Glaz. I love Glaz in his current state. He is like my go-to fragging operator. I think he plays fine. Please do not get rid of Glaz or remaster him. I like him how he is. Please, pretty please. But yeah, what operator do you think is going to be? I'm going to finalize my answer here with Blitz, but I also think potentially IQ. But we're going with Blitz. So yeah, drop a like if you did enjoy. Sub if you're new. I shall catch you all in the next video. I love you all. Stay safe. Peace.